Hi, and welcome to the Cancer Loves Me channel. For those of you that aren't close friends or family and know a little bit about my story and my history, you're probably wondering why I would choose such an interesting title. So let me give you a little bit of my background. When I was 12 years old, I was diagnosed with an ovarian teratoma. It was malignant. I went on to receive many surgeries and also 3 months of intense chemotherapy. I went on to also be checked consistently for the next 5 years, every 3 months CT scans, then every 6, and then I finally made it to that 5-year mark where I was deemed cancer-free, and that was amazing. I went on to continue to go to school in junior high, high school. Junior high was a struggle as I had all the side effects that you do during chemotherapy, but I was able to persevere and make it through there. I went on to attend college and eventually fall in love and get married. We were able to bring 3 beautiful girls into this world, and then about 2 years ago, my husband was diagnosed with a terminal brain tumor called glioblastoma. He fought hard and long for 17 months. And I was by his side as his caretaker for that period of time. It was different being on the other side from when I had cancer as a child. It was still super hard, but it was definitely different. And he ended up passing away last July 22nd of 2016. The grieving process was hard, and I'm still going through it. It's been about 8 months since he passed away, but as I tell most people, I really started losing him right after the diagnosis, and I lost a little bit of him every day over those 17 months that he fought. And so when his body finally left us last July, it was like the last piece of him to go. So the first few months after losing him were really hard. The holidays without him, our first set was last year, and when the new year started, I just had this new feeling and this new outlook on life. I had come to a better place with God. I had let go of my bitterness and my anger, and I felt like this was going to be my year. There wasn't going to be any doctor's appointments. There wasn't going to be any chemotherapy. There wasn't going to be any surgeries. This was going to be a new year for my girls and I. And I felt something big was coming, really big, but something exciting big. Just some kind, I didn't know what it was, but I knew it was good, and I knew that I was heading in a good direction. Fast forward to about a couple weeks ago, I ended up at the doctor's office for just my annual Pap smear GYN visit, and the nurse practitioner who was seeing me thought that she could feel possibly a lump here on my right breast. Of course, I immediately freaked out and told her, this can't be happening. I'm my kid's only parent. My husband died last year of cancer. I can't have cancer too now. And she said, well, it might not be anything, but we just need to get a mammogram to get it checked out. So the soonest they could get me in was a couple weeks later. I finally got in and did it, and they did the mammogram, and they couldn't really tell anything from that. They did an ultrasound, and were still undecided on if it was an area of interest that was suspectful of cancer. So after talking with the radiologist, we decided to do a breast biopsy that day. That was the only thing that was going to give me peace of mind to know that I was fine, I was cancer-free, I was okay. The next day after the biopsy, I sat in front of my computer looking up my records, and I read on the pathology report, grade 1 invasive ductal carcinoma. I then began to freak out. I forgot to tell you that I too have a history not only of having had previously had cancer, but I worked as a radiation therapist before having my kids for a few years. So those words were very familiar to me. I had studied cancer for those couple of years that I was taking my education, my schooling. I was very familiar with what that meant. I didn't need a doctor to explain anything to me. I knew at that point that I had breast cancer. Just 7 months shy of when my husband had just passed away. I'm still trying to process things. I literally can't believe this is happening to me. Everybody I talk to says, it's a joke, right? And I keep thinking, yeah, it should be a joke. Funny joke. But no, it really is happening. When Rob was sick before, my late husband, I kept everybody updated through Facebook and mostly our family blog. And with this, I decided I wanted to do things a little differently. I felt like it'd be a little bit more personal if I got on here and shared videos with you instead of just blog posts. I might end up doing both. I haven't decided what to do. I wanted an avenue that I could share this journey / adventure of cancer yet again with my close family and friends. And then I also decided that it might be helpful to someone else in the future. When I first learned about the breast cancer, I got on and immediately was Googling everything I could. But everybody's situations are so different, and different stages, different grades of cancer, the different amount of lumps, just being my age and being in my situation, researching egg retrieval, what it meant to do egg retrieval with being estrogen positive and progesterone positive. Was it possible to still do that and not have risks? Just all these questions were coming up, and I was Googling everything that kept coming through. And sometimes I get a good hit and I get a good article, or sometimes I get a good YouTube video of someone else in a similar circumstance. But none of it was all encompassing and everything that I needed. I might have gleaned a little bit from one person and a little bit from another article. So I thought, well, maybe I can help somebody in the future. Just a little bit from my situation maybe will resonate with them a little bit, or have some information or that can help them. Another reason I wanted to do this was for my girls. They're so young right now. And Sophia is my oldest. She's 9. And she knows everything that's going on. But my little ones, Scarlett and Simone, they're only 6 and 4. And I don't know how much they're really going to be able to take from this experience. I want them to be able to see their mother fighting and see what it's like to go through these hard trials, to go through these dark days and still find the light and still keep going. And if this can be a little bit of family history for them and be an inspiration to them later on in their lives when they're faced with who knows what's going to come in front of them, I hope that this can inspire them and help them. And so this is just the beginning of a very long year for me. I don't know all the details yet of my prognosis and my staging. Staging for breast cancer and for all cancers encompasses tumor size, metastasis, and node involvement. We know tumor size right now based on MRI, and that is there's about 7 small tumors in my right breast, in the upper inner quadrant or medial quadrant, and a little bit lateral. They range in size from 0.5 centimeters to 1.5 centimeters. We don't know nodal involvement yet. I'm going to get a portacath placed next Wednesday and also have a sentinel node biopsy then. And that will help us stage me better. Because of the bulk of the tumors, the surgeon decided that I need to do chemotherapy before having surgery. So I spoke with an oncologist today, and we're still working out the details for which chemotherapy regimen is going to be best for me. It's a little bit more complicated because I've already had chemo as a child. We need to make sure and double check what chemotherapy agents I had and possibly not repeat some of the same, and look at some other side effects that I could have long term from already having 2 separate treatments with chemotherapy. So there's a lot to still be decided. There's a lot of unknowns still. But I have a lot of love and support pouring in already from those that I've shared this with. And I'm ready to do it. It's what's been laid before me. It's not like I really have a choice at this point, but I'm ready to just start it and then get it over with so I can get on with my life. So the next step that I have, besides deciding on chemotherapy, is I've decided to do an egg retrieval. I'm 37 years old, I'm widowed, and I hope to not be single the rest of my life. And if I am lucky enough to be able to get married again and share my life with another man, I would like to have the opportunity to possibly have a child with him. And now that chemotherapy has come into play, my eggs will not be available after these treatments. So the only thing I can do at this point is do the egg retrieval. So I go in tomorrow for my first baseline ultrasound and learn all about the medications I need to do. It's probably going to be about a 2-week process. So I'll definitely go over that in another video, and hopefully that can be helpful to someone questioning the same things I was about egg retrieval and how to do it so quickly in between being diagnosed and having chemotherapy and kind of all those details. So that will probably be the next video I'll do, and I'll just continue to keep you updated with everything that's going on. Bye.